reflects your values. So call Trajan Wealth to schedule your free consultation. Guys, Trajan Wealth is going to come up with a customized game plan for your family, for your needs, for your finances, and you're going to feel confident and comfortable in your future. So visit them online at TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Polumbus, Hastings, and DMac present
Dum 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 Dum.
No Dumb Questions. This is your safe space.
Safe place.
I'm leaning into the segment.
You're a smart guy.
Send us your not dumb question now. Tweet it, text it, or Twitch it. It's No Dumb Questions on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
When it comes to your retirement, there are no dumb questions. Call Trajan Wealth today at 303-900-1189. Scott, I want to play you a clip from Seinfeld.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. So you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Scott, I present for you Brennan Marion, the new offensive coordinator for the CU Buffaloes, Scott. And under that premise, it's one thing to say something, it's another thing to do it. I present this.
Fellas, we cannot give you a motivational speech every day to come out here and work. It shouldn't take a guy calling you out, cussing you out, screaming at you, motivating you to turn up. Stop calling your agent, your trainer, your friends, your cousin, your girlfriend. Get on this team. Stop retweeting other teams. My boys over here. You do something. Make your work. Let's go. Turn it up. Urgency. Are you going to get drafted? Are you going to be a champion? Are you going to do it? You have to. So let's step it up. And let's stop with all the motivational speeches and let's come out here and let's go get it every day.
My favorite part, Scott, is he starts with, you shouldn't need motivational speeches. Then he immediately gives a motivational speech and ends with, you don't need motivational speeches. He literally does that. You forget about motivational speeches and immediately gives a motivational speech and ends with, no more motivational speeches. And I find that hysterical, and I do find that similar to the take a reservation, can you keep a reservation? Can you do what you say you're going to do? And, Scott, we saw Staub say that he gets better coaching at Tennessee in 3 months than 3 years. We see Jordan Seaton all of a sudden look like a monster in a good way and not a flabby, strong guy who's injured at CU. And it hits me, that's the problem at CU. It's all about the rah-rah crap. And that's what it's always been with Prime. And Brennan Marion is realizing, oh, my God, I just have a bunch of dudes who are looking for a TED Talk, and they're not real football players, and they don't know what they're doing. And what a stunning realization, Scott, that must be for the offensive coordinator for any program.
Well, and a guy that came over that's highly regarded, right?
Absolutely.
Done some interesting things and everything else. So, yeah, listen, I've always said this about pros, and can we finally call the new NIL era of college sports that these kids are now pros?
Fine by me, because that's what they are.
At the very least, semi-pros. You
Sure.
know, maybe they're not making the $30 million a year stuff, but they're semi-pro. They're pro. But I've always said this with the pro sports: if you got a team, you got to motivate to go play hard. You ain't got the right team.
No, man, you need to coach teams, not motivate them. And it's been nothing but motivation up there, Scott. Nothing but it. It's nothing. Everything they've done at CU is making the reservation. They can't keep the reservation.
Yep.
And that's the truth, guys. And this is not being anti-Prime. This is not being a hater. We all want to see CU do well. But let's face it, Coach Prime ain't a coach. He's a motivational speaker, and that's it. And that's the biggest problem they have, Scott, in my opinion.
Yep. Well, did we not say at the start of last year, after you lost Hunter and Junior up to the NFL draft and a handful of other wide receivers, that last year we were saying now we're going to see Prime's going to get a real chance to coach?
Yeah.
How many games they win?
3. It was terrible. And three wins, and the losses sometimes at home were humiliating. Stands 90% empty with 5 minutes to go in games. Idiots and drunk fraternity guys taking their shirts off and waving them around in the air in November because they could, because you can move wherever you want in the stands. Humiliating losses. And then when I asked them, how do you explain this to recruits? The answer was, are you a dog or a cat? Come on, Scott. Come on, man. Talk about you got to be better, man. Hey, Prime, it's not enough to make the reservation, brother. You got to keep the reservation. It's PhD here on 92.5.
Hey, there's a couple times in your life that just absolutely stink. There's a lot more, but two absolutely serious. That's if you're going through a divorce or possibly got in some trouble in some DUI matters. Let me tell you, the people you need to call, have them on your speed dial, or just at least file away for hopefully that non-rainy day. But it's the Reputation Law Group. They specialize in divorce and DU matters. In that time that you're probably as low as you've ever been, you need some advocates and people that will kind of hold your hand and show you and walk you through the process. It's a scary time, and whether it's your fault or not, you still need representation. The Reputation Law Group, get them on your side. They're fantastic attorneys, easy to get to schedule a consultation. Go to the reputationlawgroup.com, thereputationlawgroup.com. Schedule that consultation. Get things taken care of. Don't push them off. And I promise you'll be glad you did. Give them a holler. It's the Reputation Law Group.
That might have been the dagger for the Avalanche, by the way, into the soul of the Dallas Stars. They now have a 7-point lead with 12 games to go and a game in hand. That might have been it. And I think if they get 3 out of 4 points in this back-to-back with Winnipeg, that certainly will be it. Last night was we can dig into the Avs more in a little bit, and Bednar said it wasn't even that great of a game from them, and they still rolled over Pittsburgh.
6-2 win, and they suck.
Yeah. By the way, their power play, since the Olympic break, Scott, it's up to like 23%, which is not spectacular, but it's 15th in the league since the Olympics. It's more just like, oh, okay, we can live with that. Let's go there rather than last in the league. So that has improved. It was funny hearing Bedsy talk about it because he was like, I don't know. We do the same thing. We're meeting with the guys. We're talking to them. It's like there's nothing really that different. But they do have Kadri in there. They've moved Natchez a little bit to a different spot. Like they've made some mechanical adjustments, and I think a lot of it has to do with Marty Natchez. Has just been, he's been freaking unbelievable. He has been incredible. So and
that was a great pickup too, hadn't it?
It's
phenomenal.
It's been great. So no complaints there. Colton's back. Logan O'Connor's back. Lehkonen will be back here shortly. They got Kadri on he's now your 3C, which is crazy that they have that kind of depth. Just really, really cool stuff. And with Dallas losing again, and they've lost 3 in a row, here you go. You got a 7-point lead. That almost seems like a slam dunk to me. The Nuggets, okay, when you're doing the game with Chris last night, with 3 minutes to go and an 8-point lead, what are you thinking watching that game?
I said it on the broadcast. I thought they got a little conservative. And listen, we're trying to figure out the close game situations.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And they did this under Malone at times too, when they'd have struggle down the clutch. I think they get too conservative on offense, and they try to eat too much of the clock too soon. And then all of a sudden you're forced to take a really tough shot under 3 seconds on the shot clock. And our guy, Dan Hyatt, yesterday had a stat about that. And when they shoot the ball, from 24 to 16, they shoot it at like 60-some%. And when they shoot it from 16 to 7 or something like that, they're at like 55, 53%. And then when they shoot it 4 seconds and under, they're like at 23%. It was a drastic number, and so I was trying to equate last night into all season long, and there's two schools of thought. You get a lead, you sit on a lead. Or if you get on a lead, and I think this is what they ought to try to do if they get the opportunity the next day, you get on a lead, build the lead. And that means just attacking. If I get a great shot, and this goes against all norms, if I get the shot Joker hit last night to win it, if I get that shot and there's 10 seconds on the shot clock, 11 shot, is that not okay?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Now, a
sure.
forced 3, kick it to the corner with 14 on it, and the guy's up in your chili, and you shoot that one. Okay, no. But, I remember having a buddy of mine who became a head coach in the NBA, and he said he wanted to play quicker. He said, what's the difference between fighting to get an 8-footer and shooting it with 4 seconds on the shot clock, or fighting and you get that same 8-footer with 14 on the shot clock? He said, what's the difference? If you consider that a good shot, what's the difference? And I'm almost thinking that they've played it so close to the vest down late that all of a sudden they don't work for a great shot, but now they're forced to have to take a shot, and I think they get themselves in trouble like that.
Small ball rotation.
Does that make sense at all?
Absolutely. I'm with you. Just play your game, man. Stop. Listen, man, I thought they were overcomplicating things massively. I thought the hack-a-shack on Iguodala was unnecessary. I thought you just sort of you allowed Phoenix to catch their breath with less than 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And when Devin Booker raised up for that 3, I thought he was going to hit it. I really did. He had a pretty good look at it, and he missed it. Thank goodness. Or that would have been a really, really tough clutch time loss, and it was damn close to being that.
Well, that sure was a slow clock, though, wasn't it?
Everything felt slow, Scott, at the end of it.
I mean, they threw that all the way in the back court. He had to dribble all the way down. He passed it once, got back the second pass, had to fake it, move over to the side, shoot it, and the clock hadn't run out, and the guy caught the ball and almost threw it, a tip in at about 14 feet, and I'm like, dude, somebody didn't start that clock right away.
A little shenanigans, a little desert shenanigans, perhaps, at the scorekeeper's table. The rotation. Talk to me about what you thought about the rotation last night.
Well, the starters I thought were below average to start the game, and that small ball group came in to start the second. Remember, they were down 7. Was that right? They were down 7.
Something like that, yeah.
Going into the second quarter, 35-28, I think it was. 35-20. They're down 7. And when the second unit came up, they had a lead. That judge it right there, that's pretty darn good. And then even in the fourth quarter, the Phoenix scored a couple early. But when that group came out, because when they win the fourth quarter, they're up 2. But when that second unit was kind of subbed out at like 5 minutes, they're up 4. So again, that group was plus. That group was in the plus right there. So it's tough. You've got to, you can't play small ball if you're not going to be physical. You can't play small ball if you're not just scrambling after everything. You saw Phoenix early in that fourth. All of a sudden they said, we're just going to roll Diawara or whatever. We're going to just roll him down to the basket, throw it up high, boom, boom, boom. He got 2 or 3 buckets right around the rim, an offensive rebound on one of them because you're switching out. Poor switches. I thought Bruce did a bad job there for a while in the third on his switches. He was staying too to the side, allowing the guy to get into the paint. But overall, they still won their minutes. They regrouped. And it wasn't just Murray to start that group out. It was Hardaway hit his shot. Cam hit his shot. Bruce had 2 or 3 great moves. That left-handed layup in the paint. So you had other guys, and it wasn't just – and this is what happened in the past, last year in particular. Second unit, Murray scored, and the second unit's just standing there. Just watching. No other contributions. And this group – Spencer Jones had a big cut to the basket layup, remember? So I like what they're doing with it. It's energetic. You've got to play as hard as you think you can play because you're usually going to be outsized, maybe outskilled. And I think for the most part that small ball unit's done that.
Is that what we're going to see in the playoffs?
Yes.
I think so too.
Until we can't.
Until we can't. Right. I mean,
isn't that what Oklahoma City does?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you do have Aaron Gordon who can play at the 5. Spencer Jones can play at the 5. He can. He's a big dude.
Yep.
He's big enough. He's big enough, I guess.
He's thick enough.
Yes. And Peyton Watson is
he'll add some piece.
Yeah, I mean, you got him back there too. So this is a lot different than the small ball lineup when it was like, oh my God, what would it be? Hardaway, Bruce, Pickett, Strother, you know what I'm saying? Like you had
Murray,
it. Yeah, I mean that was what you had the vast majority of the year. It's smaller. It's funny, Adelman said that the other day. It's like, well, I don't know if they're really that small. They're still like 6'9". And the guy on the outside looking in clearly is Jonas Valanciunas, which, okay, is what it is, man. That being said, tonight, who knows? Tonight, who knows what it's going to be, but hopefully they play smart. The turnaround is tough. You had another flight delay. We didn't get text, from you until 4:12 or whatever in the morning saying you were laying your delicate, pretty little head on a pillow in Denver, Colorado. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say about, to the point where, let me play this again. Katie's talking to Hardaway after the game. They're joking about the travel problems.
Last back-to-back of the season. What kind of mental toughness will you guys need to handle Dallas at home?
I think we're just going to have to do a great job. It would be great if our plane can be ready to go when we need it most. but it's always delayed or something's wrong with it. So, the league got to figure that out, especially when we're having a back-to-back and the first game is ending at the time it's ending right now. So, and then we're losing an hour. So, but hey, it's the life we chose.
Scott, how funny is it they were joking about that, and then you did have the problems. It happened again.
Now, I will say this. I think Tim probably already knew that the plane was an issue.
Oh, you think so? Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
During that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think they knew as soon as they got in the locker room, Adam and talked to him, and then I think they probably came in and said,
funny.
boys, take your time. Buses aren't leaving until 11:45.
Oh, funny. All right, Scott, what does this mean for tonight? How would you run the game tonight with everything into consideration, and how would you frame things tonight?
Here's what I always found on back-to-backs and short nights. I think you try to keep the same rotations, but you shorten them up.
Okay.
So if your first group goes in and they play 6 minutes before your first sub, it's probably got to be 3.5, 4.
Okay.
And you got to rotate guys in my opinion. Said Joker maybe playing the whole first quarter, maybe he only plays 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, and maybe now here's the perfect time to get Val in, right?
Bridge. He's like a bridge guy rather than a rotation guy. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's what I've always felt. I always felt that my best opportunities when I was stuck on the end of the bench guy to play was always those kind of back-to-back games because, you didn't play the night before and these guys are tired. We used to have to fly commercial. So we're getting up at, spend the night getting up at 6 a.m. and flying wherever we're flying. But, I think you shorten the length of your rotation. You try to keep the rotation as much as you can. But I think it's quicker. I think instead of maybe the second unit playing, especially the guys that played so many minutes, playing a full 6.5 minutes to start the second quarter, again, maybe it's 3.5, 4 minutes, and it's just boom, 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 boom. I go back to that Memphis game, and I was actually impressed. I'm not a big fan of that coach because I feel like he backstabbed the guy in front of him, although I didn't really like the guy in front of him before that.
All right.
But that's okay. You can't blame yourself if the owner hired you and not the coach himself. So, something fishy's going on. But if you go back that game, they played 13 people, and the least amount that anybody played was 10 minutes plus. And they were just boom, 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 boom. Legs never got tired. Fresh. They knew that Denver got in at 6 in the morning, and so they just apply pressure, and just kept it on. Dallas smart tonight. They'll try to do the same thing.
Right.
So I think your counter to that is your rotations got to be quicker, shorter, quicker bursts. Give me 3 or 4 minutes. Almost like a hockey rotation, except a little longer. Give me 3 or 4 minutes instead of 7. Give me 2.5 instead of 5. And you got to trust it. Boom, 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 boom. And then hope by the end of the fourth quarter, you've got some guys, you spared enough guys, and everybody's got a good sweat going that you can do what you need to do to finish up the game.
The Mavericks have lost 4 in a row. Cooper Flagg is obviously an emerging star, no doubt about it. They've got, I suppose, youth on their side. I'm looking at the rest of their lineup. Yeah, not a lot. I mean, Chris Middleton's coming off the bench. Klay Thompson's coming off the bench, I guess. Is that what he's doing? Is he coming off the bench for them for the most part?
Yeah, he was earlier. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man, I don't know. But they're going to be excited to play tonight. Listen, man, one thing that we've learned, I got it. Maybe the owners, whoever they are of the Mavericks these days, they want them to lose and tank and the whole thing. Players don't think like that. Players are going to look at it as an opportunity, especially younger players, a guy like Cooper Flagg, who, by the way, now is an overtime game, but he played 42 minutes the other day, scored 32 points. There are guys, Scott, listen, if Cooper Flagg wasn't playing tonight, I'd be pumped, easier for the Nuggets to win. But I'm not going to lie, I get excited seeing young stars coming into Ball Arena that I haven't seen that much in person. I love it. As long as, if he can't play, fine. But the dude's averaging 20 points a game, 6.5 as a rookie, and he's only 19 years old. I love it, man. I love Cooper Flagg. And But I'm going to how do I frame this? Because if I say something that I'm okay with the Nuggets losing, it feels like I'm a quitter. So how should I put it? Or how do you feel about it in terms of tonight's game?
A loss, you can validate it and understand it, but with the situation surrounded, you really don't want to accept it.
Okay. So if it happens, it's not the end of the world, but that doesn't make it doesn't make it acceptable.
No, yeah, you don't have to accept it. It doesn't make it the end of the world either. But and you don't do like some shows and just blame the coach. It's his fault completely. But I don't know. When I was in Memphis, and I'm going to be real super honest with you, and again, that was a 6 game in 9 days.
Yeah.
It was a 6 o'clock morning. I haven't experienced that in a million years.
Does this feel different today?
This feels different.
Okay.
And listen, I ain't got to play.
No, but you just have a different feeling here.
But the vibe for me feels different than it did in Memphis. I mean, I was like, listen, I'm tired here. I'll probably go up and take a nap after the show for 45 minutes before I got to get ready and head down there. But I feel different.
You know, the morning show, Vic said that they had a texter said Joker was spotted dropping his kid off at school this morning. Which is cool. Like, oh, okay. All right. And maybe he only needs a couple hours sleep.
That says something about him being a man, the man he is and the dad he is, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought that was cool, man.
I mean, but I guarantee you that means he probably got a 3-hour nap. And I bet if you call him right now, he ain't answering because I bet he's asleep right now.
I'm glad you told me that because I was about to ring him up during the commercial break.
Oh, good you didn't.
Tell me about Vitalant and what's going on with the blood donations, though.
Listen, you got a few more days in the month of March, and they're doing a nice little blood drive, and they're associated with the Denver Nuggets. You get a chance to go to vitalant.org/Nuggets, and that's Vitalant, VITALANT.org/Nuggets. Set up an appointment, set up a time where you can go and donate blood. Blood is always needed. We always think in a major crisis, a hurricane or a tornado or boom, 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 and the blood banks get flooded, and here we go. But it's year round. It's constantly year round. It's year round. There's always a need for blood. And there's 2 or 3, I believe, different types of ways you can donate the blood. They take some out, they put some back in. They take it all out. They do. It's just an amazing process. And the cool thing, people at Vitalant, when I've been there, they explain everything that's going on and what they can use for and how to do it. Easy to get on, vitalant.org/Nuggets. If they draw your name, if you made an appointment this month, they'll give you a chance to win an autographed signed Nuggets jersey. I got my appointment Saturday at 8:30 a.m. So I will be right there, and I don't think I'm eligible for the DMac. I don't think I'm eligible for the jersey.
Well, could they find one that big?
Dude, I got to tell you quick. Do we have time? I got to go break.
You got to give it to me really fast. Give it to me
Talk
super
to Aaron
fast.
Gordon. I'll just save it. I talked to Aaron Gordon last night about Thursday.
Oh,
Arizona,
okay.
Arkansas.
Save it. We'll get to that story in a little bit, as well as Dan Bud's Quinn Stainer with Let's Football Go. Joe Flacco wants to call people dumb. Details next. Is that what we should just call it Hack a Whoever?
Or Charles Barkley says hack a dummy.
Hack a dummy?
Hack a dummy.
That's good stuff. All right. Thank you, Brad, and everybody at Mountain High Appliance. We appreciate you. We love you. And go buy yourself a dishwasher. MountainHighAppliance.com. Dan Buds, Quince Tanner, LFG, baby.
Oh, we'll hear from Joe Flacco here in just a second. But went over this earlier in the show, guys. But confirmed or reported top 30 visits for the Broncos. Give you a couple of names here. Jude Bowery, offensive tackle, Boston College. Omar Cooper, who we've talked a little bit about, the wide receiver out of Indiana. Casey Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M. Kalon Black, running back, Indiana. Jonah Coleman, another running back out of Washington. And DMac guy, Eli Stowers, tight end out of Vanderbilt. So let me ask you guys this question. What position group would surprise you the most if they were to take this position group with their second round pick, their first pick in the draft? And then what position group do you think they should target the most if you had to pick one position group with their first pick in the draft?
Position group, I would say running back, because you just cannot count on J.K. Dobbins being healthy. And he's really on a one-year deal. That's really what it is. Tight end is kind of interesting because there's just not a lot of like beef on that sandwich. You know, it's really kind of like Stowers or nothing at this point. So I wouldn't say that's a position group. I'd say it's a player. The position group that would surprise me the most with the second round pick would be cornerback. I mean, I boy, if you don't have that covered at this point, I don't know what's going on, Scott.
Yeah, I guess cornerback would be one. I would say offensive line, guard, tackle.
Well, I don't know. That would not shock me. And if you look at the visits, they've had quite a few of the big fellas in here. That wouldn't shock me.
Listen, it might not shock you, but you, for a guy that wears sweatpants to drafts all the time, and now no first round, and then all of a sudden it gets down to 62. Offensive guard from Boise State, Bill Bobby. You're going to go, yeah! Yeah!
No,
Where are you going to go?
I'll be underwhelmed.
There we go.
I'll understand it, but I'll be underwhelmed. I won't be screaming.
Yeah, I think quarterback would be number one. I think what wouldn't surprise me, listen, if there's a young athletic safety out there, if you're looking defense, that you could put in there in the mix with two pretty good safeties you got, then he could be your rotation guy, great. I don't think there'll be a quality tight end available that's not a project. You've already got a project tight end. Do you need another one? Listen, they're gonna if no one's dropped, they're gonna take the best athlete on the board, no matter what he plays.
What if it's wide receiver? How surprised would you be if they took a wide receiver?
Would not surprise me at all. Would not surprise me at all. Listen, would not surprise me at all. I know some people I don't think they understand that Marvin Mims is not going to be used as anything more valuable really this year than a punt returner. Okay.
Although Leggy just told us that the best three receivers is Mims, that's third guy.
Yeah, that's cool. Listen, they're gonna go with their guys first, and Mims ain't one of their guys.
That's true.
So. And everybody who's pointing out, well, he's an all-pro, kick return. Well, he was 2 years ago, but not this past year he wasn't.
Well, he was his first 2 years, and he wasn't last year. Let me ask you this, though, as far as the non-surprise. What was the kid's name they drafted, the wide receiver last year?
Pat Bryant.
Pat Bryant. How did Pat Bryant's season kind of end for him?
Well, he caught 3 passes in a row in the AFC Championship game, and then he got hurt. I mean, he was
and he got another concussion, right? That he'd had also 2 or 3 weeks before. I think he had 2 concussions in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. I mean, as we saw with Tua and we've seen with other guys, I mean, once you get one, that second one's easier. And is he honestly a guy that you can completely trust? And if you got concerns on that, then would it really surprise you at 62? If there's some All-American on the board that can play, that they wouldn't draft a wide receiver.
Absolutely. That would make perfect sense to me. Listen, man, I like Marvin Mims. I think he's a good dude. but there's nothing to indicate he's one of their guys. Troy Franklin is one of their guys. Pat Bryant is one of their guys. Jalen Waddle is one of those guys. And so is Cortland Sutton because they did a big new contract for him. There's nothing to show you that Mims is one of their guys. Absolutely, positively nothing. And people do this all the time. They overvalue the importance of special teams in the NFL. They do it all the time. Your more dynamic players aren't on special teams, Scott. They're being paid $30 million to catch a football as a wide receiver. Those are your special guys that make things happen. And if they do special teams on top of it, fine. But to think that you're going to keep a guy simply because he's the best punt returner, that's silly. Go look at what the average numbers are from wherever Marvin Mims is to guys 10 below him. You'll see that the difference per punt, Scott, it's like 3-4 yards, man. Yeah. It ain't that big of a deal. And it's nice if they can bring one back for 30 or 40 yards 3 or 4 times a year. But to think that, our whole philosophy scoring-wise is dependent upon that, it's nice when it happens, but it's certainly not the core of how you build a team. You build a team. If you're going to do anything, if you traded him for a third-round pick and you got depth at inside linebacker, that's way more valuable than a punt returner.
I would think so. I would think so. Yes, I would think so.
I love the thought, too, that
you know what it is? It's a nice luxury to have, but guess what? Of the 32 teams, how many people have dynamic punt returners? 5?
Exactly, Scott. And I used to have this debate with people all the time because Todd Helton's such an incredible defensive first baseman. Who cares if he's slumping? And I'm like, what do you think? The guys that are going to play behind Todd Helton can't catch a baseball at first base? I mean, maybe they're not quite as good, but they know how to pick a ball. I think we get some weird sports bias, Scott, that we think our guys are irreplaceable, that nobody can do the job as good as our guys.
Listen, every great player, we say this all the time, and LeBron's pushing that envelope. Tom Brady pushed that envelope. There's always, Father Time always wins.
Always.
Right? He eventually always wins. There are guys now with the new technology and physiology and everything that's going on that are pushing Father Time off just a little bit longer. But our stars age, Babe Ruth aged. I was going to say O.J. Simpson. I guess you can say he was
easy.
Really?
You're going to go to the O.J. Simpson card?
I don't know why. The Terrell Davis aged.
Right. That's better.
Bob Lilly aged. Dirk Nowitzki aged. Larry Bird aged. Michael Jordan aged. It catches up with them. And I always go back to what Sandy Clough, he quoted somebody else, but I always give Sandy the credit for the quote. What you're going to have to do inevitably, you might as well do immediately.
I love it. Well said. All right, Dan, one more about Joe Flacco.
Yeah, here's Joe Flacco. He re-signed with the Bengals on a 1-year deal. Flacco said he's still got more to prove, guys.
What?
I feel like I have unfinished business. That's part of why I'm still here and playing and doing all those things. And not being one of those guys to go sign somewhere, yeah, it pisses me off a little bit. But at the same time, I'm very happy to be here. And that's also why I don't see this as the end. That's just not how I'm viewing it in my mind. I feel like I can help a team win. And yeah, it may be in a different role here, but I do still think I can help this team win in that role. I had a lot of fun with Joe, and Joe's the guy. And believe me, I wish I was a guy somewhere. And I think teams are dumb for not having me be that guy. But it is what it is.
Are teams dumb for not having 41-year-old Joe Flacco as their starting quarterback?
Well, probably not, but I love his attitude. And, Scott, this guy just loves playing ball. And I think that's awesome.
You know what that comment gave him? That gave him a backup job for sure, because everybody's going, heck yeah, I want a guy that's that fiery and still thinks he can play. And,
hell yes.
And I want him to push Bo Nix, or I want him to push Richardson, or I want him to put, let's go.
Hey, who would you
rather? He's capable.
Who would you rather have as a backup, Jarrett Stidham or Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco.
Me too.
You know what? And he's probably not built like Joe Flacco is, but you know who probably also could have hung on and been a backup quarterback and probably been an asset for you if he was willing to train and work out? Phillip Rivers.
Probably. But he's got 17 kids, not just 5 like Joe. I mean,
Well,
when you only have
guess
5
what?
kids.
Hey, you got 17 kids. That $5 million backup quarterback job don't look too bad, does it?
The funniest thing was that Joe Flacco press conference when we found out for the Broncos, when we found out he had 5 kids all under the age of 6, and none of them were twins. And I'm looking at Mrs. Flacco like, holy cow! I mean that's the star right over there. Like, holy my Lord! Oh, the Joe Flacco burn it to the ground press conference was one of the greatest of all time. The what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What am I doing? What are we doing? We're not going for it. What do we got? 3 wins? Or what are we doing here? I actually think I really like Joe Flacco, man. I love the attitude, and I want my guy somebody who wants to play. Screw his kids. He doesn't care. They'll figure it out. He'll get home soon enough.
Yep.
I'll bounce around to 9 different teams in my last 5 years. Whatever. Put name tags on him at Thanksgiving.
Heck, I'm not so sure that he couldn't still start for Cleveland if he was still there.
I think he could start for actually quite a few teams. I bet you there's 5 or 6 teams where Joe Flacco would be the best option.
Geno Smith or Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco.
Well, Geno's going to be the starter in New York.
How about this? Tyler Shuck or Joe Flacco?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I take Joe. Who's quarterbacking in Atlanta these days? Who's that guy?
Tua or Michael Penix?
Right, or Joe Flacco.
No, didn't they just sign somebody?
Tua.
They didn't.
They got Tua. They got something else going on. Penix, right? Tua or Penix, right?
Tua or Penix.
I'll take Joe Flacco.
And then Miami just signed Willis as their starter.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. I mean, I'm not saying it's the road to the Super Bowl goes through Flacco, but he ain't wrong about a couple teams there. Knows, Joe Burrow might get into a recreational flag football game and tear something. And Joe's starting like 12 games this year for the Bungles. I think I kind of love Joe Flacco, man. How about that? Teams are dumb. I'm going to prove them wrong.
You know what?
I'm 41 years old. I've got a Super Bowl under my belt, and I got something to prove. Cool, man.
You know what? He's joined your Grumpy Old Men Beer League.
I like him. He's the king of the beer league. Joe Flacco's the hero of the beer league.
Of all the quarterbacks that we've seen run through in the last 10 years, rank who you'd like to have a beer with.
Well, it's ranking up. It's getting up there with
conversation off the table.
Johnny Manziel.
Well, Broncos quarterbacks
he didn't play for the Broncos.
Broncos quarterbacks.
My bad.
Somebody I'd want to have. That's a great question. You know what? Let me think about that and answer it on the other side here on PhD. Hey, when the pills or herbals fail when you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic is there as they have success rates well over 90%, so you can get your life back when you think all hope is lost. We have the Rocky Mountain Men Clinic. Some treatments can have you last an hour or more. They're fantastic. They've served the Front Range of Colorado for nearly a decade, and don't let ED destroy your life. Doesn't have to happen. The Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic will get you back in the game. So schedule your consult today, 720-440-7900. If you do that, that visit's only $99. You get the medical consult, a T and a PSA test. If medically advised, a test dose. And if it doesn't work in the office, that visit is free. With an expert staff like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. Your personality is up to you. The Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic to the rescue. 5 locations up and down I-25, Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. 720-440-7900, RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. It's funny that you brought that up, Scott. Earlier today, Vic and Kane were talking about there's 10 ex-Bronco quarterbacks still in the NFL.
Simeon just signed.
Simeon's one. How good can you do? Simeon's one. Who else?
Simeon, Flacco, Case Keenum.
Go Keenum.
3. Allen.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guy? Chad Brown's in Canada, isn't he?
Chad Brown.
I don't know
Chad
if that
Kelly.
counts. Chad Kelly.
No, he doesn't count.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we'll count him. He's not on a team right now.
My guy that was down in Miami as Tua's backup.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Who just signed with who?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. That's right. Yeah, he's got a shot there. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Stidham and Bo Nix, does that count? Or does it
no, they're ex-Bronco. There's 2 that you probably should get here. And I'm stuck on the other 2, to be honest with you. You want a hint or not?
Yeah, give me a hint.
All right. He ripped it up here with the Broncos until Dalton Reisner wanted to punch him in the face.
Ripped it up here.
Ripped it up. Ripped it up. I don't know how I could be more obvious. Brett Rippin.
Ripien.
And then I'm just going to give you Josh Johnson.
Brett Rippin's still in the league. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Josh Johnson, who's played with every team. But I only have 8 there.
Josh Johnson almost doesn't count.
I know. Bridgewater. Bridgewater's another one.
Well, he played last year, but he's back to high school coaching.
No,
this year,
I thought he was on a team.
I think he signed. Let me check.
Yeah, I think
believe
he's on a
back.
team. And I don't have a 10. That's I'm stuck there. I don't know who I'm missing. So we got a couple of Wilsons, Rippin, Josh Johnson, Allen, Keenum, Flacco, Simeon, Bridgewater. Ooh, who are we missing? If there's 10, who else is out there, y'all? Anybody got a clue? Are we counting Jeff Driscoll? Is Jeff Driscoll still in the league?
No way. Jeff Driscoll's not still in the league.
I don't know.
I thought he was doing like TV or something.
Well, that's DiNucci. That's the Nooch, Ben DiNucci, who you never know if he's going to be.
Ponder's not in the league anymore, right?
Ponder? Oh, no. We're going way back on that one, huh? Anyways, that's a good group. So the question is, who would I want to have a beer with? Like, I'm just looking at that crew right there. It's Joe Flacco by a mile.
By the way, sorry if I missed it. Did we say Drew Lock?
We did not say Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
Oh, my God. We did not say Drew
Lock.
Lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simeon would be boring to have a beer with. Case Keenum, yeah, okay. Allen, he seems like a drip. Russell Wilson, please. Zach Wilson, I'm in for some dating stories. Brett Rippin, boring. Josh Johnson, boring. Bridgewater, boring. Drew Lock, nice guy, boring. Joe Flacco would be awesome to have a beer with, because you're assuming you're going to want to hear stories. You're going to want to, have a little bitterness going on, because that makes the conversation more fun, right? Guy's a little bitter. You don't want to have some happy, jolly guy. Like Andy's here. He's fun to have a beer with. I've sat around and had a, sort of a conversation with Andy. It's always been entertaining. Yeah, you have a little anger. You have a little bitterness. You have a little salt. That's always good. That's a positive thing. And Flacco, I don't know. Can somebody have more salt than Joe Flacco, who's calling teams dumb that they're not signing him to be a starter at age 41?
Flacco, you know what? He's a guy that you might not have a beer with, but it might be a margarita, but he'd eat all the salsa and just keep it in front of him.
Hey, man, I'm down for having some conversation with Joe Flacco. He's a guy at 41 that would rather play in the NFL than spend time with his kids. You don't think he's going to have a story or two to share?
Dude, he's in that group. You've got multiple father groups that you can have. This guy can overlap some of your friend circles.
Oh, my God. Yeah, sign me up for Joe Flacco. Sign me up for Joe Flacco, man.
So you want to hear my conversation with Aaron Gordon?
Absolutely. Go for it.
And I told him we talked tonight. So I walked up to him. He's about ready to start his warm-ups. Yeah. I said, well, what do you think?
Okay.
He goes, well, he said, I think we can win tonight. I go, no, I know. Thursday. He looked at me quizzical, and I said, Arizona, Arkansas. And he go, oh, yeah, you went to Arkansas. And I go, yeah. I said, we going to do anything?
Yeah.
Now, I said that in trepidation because I'm thinking, yeah, $10,000. And I'm like,
all right, he could go there.
Yeah.
He could go there.
But you know what idea he threw out?
What did he throw out?
Do you still got your college jersey?
Come on. You're going to
So I'm thinking
college
the loser,
jersey? Yeah.
the loser on Friday
Oh, come on.
has to sport the other guy's jersey.
That is fantastic. That is absolutely like post-game, pre-game, post-game, he'd have to wear your Arkansas jersey, and you'd on a broadcast have to wear his Arizona jersey.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Does he really want to do that? Is he gonna?
Well, it was his idea.
I absolutely love it. You got to get him on TV saying that. You got to get him on TV tonight saying that. That's perfect. It's perfect.
I don't know if we get him on that, but one, the Warden's not in town. The Warden's not in town. I got to try to figure out where the heck those jerseys are. And listen, the jerseys I got used to fit a 183-pound dude. I think, listen, if Aaron Gordon had to wear my jersey, Arkansas pulled up the biggest upset, he'd look like the strongest man in the world in a tight tank if he had to wear my jersey.
Well, Aaron Gordon would make anything look good, so I don't think there's any issues with that. That's for sure. But that's awesome that you talked to him about that, man. Dude, is there any shot he would come on the air with us to talk about it on Friday? Is there any shot in the world AG would just come on to shoot the breeze about it the day after?
I will make some inquiries tonight.
Just make it part of the bet.
No, I don't want to push him that far. Like, I don't want to push him away. But it sure would be fun to have him on the day after the game to go over it, though. That'd be a hoot, man. And AG is such a great dude. We all love him, man. It would be fun just to chat with him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
But that's good. I'm glad you had that conversation. And that's good. He knew he picked up that you went to Arkansas.
Yeah. It took him a while. He
figured it out.
And his eyes went, oh, you went to Arkansas? He goes, what do you want to do? and like I said, I freaked out for a second because I'm saying, how about $10,000 on this? I'm on there. But he goes, you still got your college jerseys?
That's so
funny. And I knew exactly what he meant to do. So
that's awesome.
I may, after this, go up and try to look in one of my junk rooms and see if I can find my old Arkansas maroon 44 jersey.
That's awesome. It's KKSC FM HD1 Broomfield, Denver, Boulder. Nate and Andy with us. You guys feel all right about last night, Nuggets Avs-wise?
That's not important. You don't know Trevor Siemian well enough if you don't want to have a beer with him. He's very funny.
Really?
Very funny.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Now, he also, you got to remember, this is a Northwestern guy. He was around Peyton Manning a little bit.
All right.
So he knew, if I'm not interesting, you're going to leave me alone. But when you got him alone, he was very, very funny.
Your choice of ex-Broncos to have a beer with,
well,
who are still in the NFL.
Different.
This is a weird category.
You know what I want to do? I want to get Teddy and Drew together and just make them tell us all about what that was. What was that? What were we doing? What were we trying to do? What were you told? How did But you know what? I take it back. You guys, did you go back far? I want the guys from the McDaniels era. I want Orton, Tebow, and Brady all with me.
All right,
all with me.
Nate, we weren't talking about just all.
How big were you getting lied to?
All right, we weren't talking about all-timers because the all-timer might be Kyle Orton because that guy would just probably, or Cutler might be great too, by the way. Can you imagine having a beer?
Oh, Nate would love to have a beer with Jay Cutler.
I would.
Is that right, Nate?
Oh, sign me up.
Or a whiskey.
Yes, exactly. No, I'll go all night. No, that put him on the list. Do you guys remember? Did you guys ever read the Stefan Fatsis book? Remember, Stefan Fatsis was the guy that went to training camp with the Broncos.
Dude, right?
Oh yeah.
He was the kicker.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
But he was like a Wall Street Journal reporter. But he was there in camp, and if you recall, that was the year that Cutler replaced Jake Plummer as the starting quarterback. It was right after Thanksgiving, right, Andy?
Yeah.
When that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, Plummer didn't talk to any reporters all year. He didn't talk to anybody. He just went into his bunker. And then, but he did talk to Stephen Fatsis, and it was in the book. And when Jake finally agreed to sit down with him, the part of the story that was so good was he was like, "How do you feel about having been benched?" And it was like Jake Plummer, if I'm remembering it correctly, picked up the tape recorder for emphasis and spoke directly into it and was like, "Bleep Mike Shanahan," and just unloaded on him. That's, if I could get the Algonquin roundtable of Jay Cutler and Jake Plummer, that's who I would want to have beers with. Sign me up right there.
Ooh, how about Plummer and Bubby Brister?
Greasy and Bubby Brister.
Yeah, well, I actually did have drinks with Bubby Brister one time.
Did that come up?
Hey, who hasn't?
True. I gotta tell you, after a few drinks with Bubby Brister, Scott, I couldn't understand anything he was saying.
It was like you were sitting with Boomhauer.
Kind of.
Hey man, we'll go down there on that old flatbone.
It was really entertaining, but I don't know. I needed an interpreter. And the one time, it was only one time, and the one time I had drinks with Bubby Brister was on in the French Quarter. It was during a Super Bowl week, man. It was awesome.
So it only would have gotten thicker, yeah.
Oh, my God. I had no idea. We went to 3 bars together. I didn't understand one word. But it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Come on this way. Yeah. He understood come on this way. That's all he understood.
It was something like that. It was cool, man.
Yeah. Buy you a drink, I think.
Wait, Nate, where are you at?
I am in Wakanda, Illinois right now. I got to Nuggets didn't tip off until after 10 o'clock for me last night. So, yes, I didn't have to go get on a plane afterwards like you did, Scotty, but it was late in my parts. But you know what? I was there to the very end. I was there until 1 a.m. Central Time last night watching Nuggets basketball, and I got to say, I enjoyed the Nuggets basketball last night.
Yeah. No, it was a
good
fun
product.
game, and a good win. It was a good win.
Yeah, good win. A lot of free throws in the closing moments of the game. The Haka Oso Iguodaro strategy, which was effective, but still,
I said it worked for a possession and a half, right? Missed
possession
his first
and a
two,
half. Which
missed his third, and then made 3 in a row.
And then he made 3 in a row, but still, 3 out of 6. That's strategically the math adds up pretty well right there. So that worked out quite well for the Nuggets. It was effective for a minute there. And look, they got the ball to Joker at the end of the game. When they needed to, Jokic took over and scored when he needed to. He was marvelous last night. My goodness, that was a vintage Joker game. Holy crap. And we got a vintage Jamal fourth quarter.
23-17-17, and it was just over a year in Phoenix where he had the 31, 20, and 21 game or something.
Yes, the 30-20-20 game, which I kind of wondered, is he going to be sneaking up on that here possibly tonight? Didn't do quite enough scoring to be able to threaten that, but hell, 23-17 and 17, pretty good. And that Suns team, man, I give those guys credit. I know they're banged up and they're battling it, but that team, they defend. Holy crap. And yep. Scotty, by the way, I tweeted it last night. Cayman Malwatch, that dude's going to be a problem. That guy, he is raw as can be right now, but holy crap, is that guy a friggin' athlete. I loved him at Duke. Obviously, he wasn't Cooper Flagg, but he was pretty good. That guy's going to be a problem for many, many years. They got something cooking in Phoenix.
Makes you wonder, how the hell did Duke not win the national championship?
I know, right?
I mean, being real honest, because Rookie of the Year is going to be him and Knopfler, right? It's
Knipple,
1-2.